in today's video, we are going to discuss 2 more tips that you can use when asking for help at work in English. My name is Chris and I am a business English coach and tutor. I help professionals who use English as a second language at work to improve their communication skills. So let's get started today with tip number 1. Our first tip today is to present a menu of options to the person you are asking for help. We talked about this a little in our first video, where we said that maybe you should show that you've tried to solve the problem yourself. Another way to think about this is, instead of going to your colleague and surrendering, saying, "I don't know how to solve this problem, can you help me?" A better way might be to show them some options that you could use to move forward and progress. Let's take a look at a couple of native and natural sounding ways to do this. The way I see it, this boils down to 2 options, and I'm not sure which one to go for. The way I see it, this boils down to 2 options, and I'm not sure which one to go for. I think I've narrowed this down to a couple of possible solutions. I just want your input before I move forwards. I think I've narrowed this down to a couple of possible solutions. I just want your input before I move forwards. I've got a couple of options on the table, and I just want to know which direction you think I should be going in. I've got a couple of options on the table, and I just want to know which direction you think I should be going in. And then, of course, you would show them, tell them what these ideas are. By presenting your problem in this way, you're making it more of a collaborative thing, more of a teamwork issue that you're presenting. Rather than, "Please help me, I don't know what to do," you are offering the opportunity for someone to collaborate with you on this small problem, on fixing this issue. And any opportunity to make something about collaboration and teamwork is almost always a good thing. Let's take a look at some of the vocabulary in these examples. And yes, there's a lot of natural and native sounding vocabulary there. I'm going to talk about one of my favorites, and that is to narrow down. To narrow down is a phrasal verb. We have narrow, which here is being used as a verb, and down, the preposition. To narrow something down, well, what does that mean? To make something more narrow, well, this would be wide, this is narrow. And when you narrow something down, you take a list of possible options and you make it smaller. You narrow it down. For instance, I've been thinking about places that we could have our meeting. There are so many options, but I think I've narrowed it down to either the coffee shop at the end of the street or the meeting room upstairs. Definitely the coffee shop. Our next tip is kind of adjacent to, next to asking for help. And this is a tip that's going to put you in the best position, the best possible situation when asking for help. And that is to offer help as often as possible. If you think that you can contribute to a project that someone is working on or a problem that someone is trying to solve, then making them aware that you are available to help them if they would like that is a great way to make sure that when you need help, they are available for you. Let's take a look at a couple of natural and native sounding ways that we can do this. If you need a hand with anything, I'm just a phone call away. If you need a hand with anything, I'm just a phone call away. If there's anything I can do to chip in, just let me know. If there's anything I can do to chip in, just let me know. If you could do with an extra pair of hands, then give me a shout. If you could do with an extra pair of hands, then give me a shout. Okay, there was some great vocabulary in these examples today, and let's take a look at a couple of my favorites. I mentioned there to chip in. To chip in is to offer something. Maybe you're offering money, maybe not at work, but you could chip in money. At work, of course, we're going to be chipping in time, and we're going to be chipping in our effort, our support, our work there. So to chip in really just means the same as to help out with something, but it's offering your help there, to chip in. For instance, thanks for chipping in with the work today. I really appreciate it. Or Dave is always helpful. He even chipped in with the project last week. This is part 2 of this short series on how to ask for help at work. Part 1 came out last week. I will link that right up here so you can take a look. And part 3, I'll put that right down here. Thanks a lot, everyone, and see you next time.